Good morning, traders, and this is the DAX daily review. Now, I'm starting off on the weekly chart here, and we still are fighting off this weekly 200 EMA. And I'm just putting this level in here. I should actually put it there, because here's the inside tail, there's the inside tail. No. Let's just put another line in, and that's another level there. Okay, so essentially what's happening here, and the reason I'm putting this level in is look at all these tails to the top here. Okay, so I can sort of put a double level in because there's a fractal, there's a fractal. So it's 4 fractals in that zone. This is the area that we need to pay attention to for a break below. If we get below this level, then you're going to get a continuation to the downside. But at this stage, if we look at the daily, you'll see a picture here. So that picture was, we had a break of this trend line. We haven't really got a retest of that break. Okay, and if you look at what's happened, let's move this to the middle. If you look what's happened, we had this hanging man, and then we had this big engulfing bar yesterday. So that is fairly bearish. Okay, oscillator pointing the downside. We are above the alligator, but I don't know for how much longer. So if I look at this picture at the moment, I'm anticipating that we are going to get more than likely a bottom gap close and start testing these bottom levels here. Okay, so let's just look at the 4 hour. You'll get a little bit of a better picture. Still very messy indeed. We do have the oscillator grouping to the downside. We've also got the 4 hour 200 EMA here. So I'm just going to start bringing these levels in off this fractal level here. You can see we've attempted to break through it and we've closed on it. So that is a level we need to watch for. And then this fractal here, which is your inside bar, and that also needs to be, you need to pay attention to that. This 200 EMA is also going to be in the way. Okay, and then you have this fractal here is not really an inside tail yet because price hasn't moved past it. Okay, so it's not something that I want to pay attention to. Normally what happens is you'll bounce off this fractal here, it'll bounce up, and then move back down to close this gap. So that is the magnet that we have at the moment. Okay, we have formed a fractal here. So low, higher, low, higher, low. So that is a valid fractal on the 4 hour. So if I draw my trend line on those two now, like that, you'll see that will line up pretty well. Remember what I say, the DAX loves channels. So there is a fairly strong channel on the 4 hour here. Okay, so let's just get rid of some of the noise here. Well, I want to leave that one in, get rid of that one. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of congestion here. We've got a 200 moving average, we've got a trend line, we've got a diagonal trend support line, we've got another support line, and we've got a gap. There's quite a bit happening down here. I think the thing to pay attention to is the 4 hour has closed below the alligator. Alligator is looking to turn. So if you start moving to the hour, you should be able to start picking up some half decent trades here. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned right now, we've had a pretty nice exhaustion bar that formed, and we've had an engulfing bar on that exhaustion bar. So that is bearish. We've had the continuation, and now we've had the consolidation below the 200 EMA on the hour. Okay, so for me at this stage, line that level up there. For me at this stage, this is looking like a short, and your stop area is going to be above this consolidation here. So that's a 11139, so 11139. Okay, so that's what it's looking like for me. I'm anticipating that we're going to get this gap close. Now, just a point on the gaps. I said it quite a few times in my gap video, is this is the last line of defense. Okay, so from the low of where you got the daily gap, that is always the last line of defense. And you can see buyers stepped in twice off that area. Okay, third time may be lucky, or you get a third time close below it, then you've got confidence that you're moving to this gap close, and possibly further. But it is Friday, so not looking to leave stuff in over the weekend. You never know what's going to happen. I'm looking to trade short, and we're going to pick up hopefully a level off with half hour. I haven't looked at it yet. Okay, so that is pretty much still the scenario. So what we're looking for is a break below this level of 11,089. I think for me anyway, just going to wait for the open. The bias is the downside. It's only if we start breaking. So if we break above this fractal here of 11,1340, that will be above the alligator. So that would be almost a valid long signal. And we do have a wise man number one here. Okay, this pin bar here is a wise man number one. And we do have a potential double bottom that formed. So it is possible that we get buyers stepping in off here to try and drive this price up, and we get a triple bottom. So just bear that in mind. You're going to need a pretty good break below here for that to happen. If we do sort of open and meander to the upside again, I think it would be worth taking a shot at a short here and keep your stop above this pin bar. Okay. Worst case scenario is that it runs to the top and comes and tests this level here and then moves to the downside. But I'm kind of anticipating that this is a bigger turn on specifically on the 4 hour. And obviously I want to see a move down, and then I want to see a bit of a rally to come and test the alligator and then continuation. Okay, there's still quite some time to go. So you're looking at an intraday trade today. And as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a continuation of what we saw yesterday, at least to come and close a gap. Okay, so at least from where we are now, 85-point trade to the downside. Okay, so before I close, let's just have a look at what the DAX futures is doing now. It is already down 0.2%, so it's sitting at 11,050. And I think that's quite far down. Oh, that's down here. Okay, so any rally you want to be short, just be careful that if it opens down here and it comes down to the gap, you're more than likely going to get buyers stepping in there to try and drive the price up. But I think that will be a scalp. Okay, and they'll more than likely come and test one of these fractals here or build a base and then continue moving to the downside. Okay, so you want to be short from the high up. You don't want to be short from down here, if that makes sense. So even if it does gap down to the bottom, just be patient, wait for the retracement before getting back in short. Even look at taking a long scalp from this area. Okay, and your gap, so your stop loss here is going to be probably 30 points. Yeah, 30 points. So I mean that's well worth the risk. Okay, yeah. So I think let me just close off with the alligator. Sorry, the ichimoku, not the alligator. I just want to point out here. So we do have pretty much nothing going on Kijun and Tekinson. So Kijun is pointing down, which is a fairly strong indicator because that is your long-term momentum, and Tekinson is your short-term momentum. The only thing that's concerning me is the oscillator group down on the bottom. So we just move up through the hours. You can see flat Kijun is not always a good sign, and you can see you'll have a break of the cloud. You then want to see a retest of the break before continuation down. Okay, and looking at the 4 hour, this was a rejection off the cloud, and we are still bullish. So your other level that you may actually get buyers step in off is 11,070. That is a very strong possibility, so you've got to be careful. Looking at the ichimoku, you've got a crossover here. We have broken through price, even though it is on a downward trend with Chiku span, the brown line. But I'm still a little bit wary of the situation that we're in at the moment. Okay, so rejection off a cloud. That's been 1, 2, 3 rejections off a cloud. So that could be an indication we're going to carry on moving down. Or alternatively, if we bounce off Kijinsen here, you're going to get an acceleration, and look at how thin the cloud is here. So the possibility of us breaking through is fairly strong. If price was coming back to look at a cloud that's this wide here, then your possibility of breaking through is not as strong as when it's thin, because a big cloud indicates a lot of resistance to the left. Okay, so that's kind of the view that we have here. We are on Kijinsen on the daily, so we do get a daily close below here. That is going to indicate a move to the downside. But again, let's put this level in. There is my daily cloud, and if I come back to the half hour, see how that ties into the bigger picture. And I can't see. Do it again. So daily cloud is down there, and we do have an inside tail here as well. Okay, let's just look how that ties into the shorter time frame. So inside cloud is slap bang in the middle, or inside tail, sorry, is slap bang in the middle of the cloud of the gap, and your daily Kijinsen is all the way down the bottom on this area here. Okay, so yeah, so I think I'm still looking at a short, and I've got a couple of levels to pay attention to. First one is gap close, and then the second one is this resistance area here, which is an inside tail. There's an inside tail, there's an inside tail, and it's also daily cloud. So that is 10,979. Okay, so that's my view today. I hope that helps you somewhat, and whatever you do, keep those stops really tight, and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers for now.